What's up, everybody? It's Amon-Rellik, the God Slayer. Amon-Rellik Gamer. We're back in more Conan Exiles. Today I'm gonna make a video today about certain things you can do now with the new update, in terms of circumventing some of the problems. As you can see on the screen, all official servers now have double EXP gathering amounts and crafting and thrall pet conversion speeds all the way up through Monday, September 11th. So get out there and get those levels, get those things set up. Why in the heck is this person laying in my house? Actuality, hold on. Is that Seta? Oh, that is her. Okay, I was one. I was like, hold on, is that Seta? That's her. Ah, she's wearing the health armor. The Aquilonian health armor. Alright. I was like, hold on, who is this person in my house? But I forgot, yeah, she must have came up off the floor. Yeah. Came on inside. Alright. Alright. So, first things first, like in my other video, I know I did some complaining, some ranting about the thrall damage or the mob damage changes, and I'm not the kind of person who likes to throw out complaints and then just call it a day. I do like to somehow, some way provide some kind of advice on operating within it, because the idea is I wasn't going to just scream defeat, and I haven't screamed defeat, because I was able to go out there and grab thralls. I got tier 4 archer right here. You know, we got 2 tanners. So it wasn't like I didn't allow that to stop me. You see what I mean? Like, even though I complained about it, I didn't allow it to stop me. You know, I did what I had to do. But I would like to make this video now kind of showing what it was I did in order to achieve the results that I've gotten at this point. Alright? So that anybody else who might be stuck on wondering, how am I supposed to get thralls at this level? If you're around level 20, 25, I'm gonna kind of show you what I did. Now, one of the things I will say is that you're going to have to rethink how you get thralls. What I mean by that is, if you're used to just killing your way in and killing your way around the den, just trying to get the thrall you want, you're gonna have to throw that out of the window. Because in this game, you're not going to be able to withstand dealing with 2 or more enemies. You're just not going to be able to do that, not solo. And so, what you're going to be relying on, and you're going to probably need your water-filled flask, some blood, and some yellow lotus blossoms. And what you're going to do is you're gonna have to, because the game is being obvious in how it wants you to do this. It wants you to literally make a build for everything you do. So if you're going to gather, you're going to need to make a gathering build. If you're going to go out and do regular combat, you need to make a combat build. And if you're going to go out and get thralls, you're going to need to make a build specifically for going to get thralls. Until you get to a higher level to where you'll be able to withstand things. But in your low levels, around like 25 and 30-ish, you're going to need to make specific builds. And of course, this is going to be your favorite potion for a while. The potion of bestial memory. It's going to take 1 water-filled flask, 3 lotus blossoms, 3 blood. You'll make that potion and it will basically reset these. It will reset your attributes. Now, what I did was I went 10 in authority just to give me enough bonking power. Because concussion damage is determined by authority. It's no longer determined by strength. It's determined by authority now. So I went 10 in authority, and I went 15 in grit. So at 25, I had basically 15, 20, 25 points like that. And so I went to 15 in grit, which gave me the defensive posture. And I was able to get, of course, this one. Now, the reason why I get this one, increasing your armor by 1/5 of your current stamina, the reason why I do this is because your stamina regenerating 25% faster doesn't mean anything. You see that? See that? Even when it doesn't mean anything. See, regenerating 25% faster doesn't mean anything. So when it comes to grit, and this could be something that you could just take as just a grit thing, period. If you're gonna put your points in grit, take the second one. Take stout. Don't take endurance. It's not gonna really be a matter of helping you out in that sense. And then you'll want to get that defensive posture to be able to block or to be able to reduce damage by 15% while you're attacking or while you're blocking, because you're going to be trying to bonk them upside the head, and if they happen to attack you while that's happening, you'll get some damage reduction off of that. Medium or heavy armor only. I wouldn't probably do this in light armor at all. Again, because I don't trust this game's combat system. I don't trust dodging, because sometimes when you dodge, you get frames, you get iframes, and then sometimes when you dodge, you'll still get hit. There's a certain point in time in the dodge, I believe, that you're invincible, but it's only at a certain point in the animation, I believe. But like outside of that, I wouldn't so much as put all of your stock and trust in your dodges. So, unless you really, have practiced your dodging skills, especially in light armor, being like to do backflips and stuff. Like, if you put a lot of time into that and you're confident in that, then you can go light armor. But if not, medium should be the go-to. Medium to heavy should be the go-to. Medium will probably be the easiest you'll probably be able to come across, which is why I did it in medium armor, to make sure that, it was something that could be possibly done with the easiest armor set you'll get. That'll at least give you some kind of decent armor rating. With that 3 levels in grit and the 2 of authority, your defensive stat will look something like this. It'll be about 38 or 34% damage reduction. I think it'll be about 36 or something like that damage reduction, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it'll help you take that 1 extra hit, which again isn't a lot, because now these thralls can kill you in like 3 or 4 hits, but it might give you that 1 extra hit to be able to get away far enough to heal and then come back in or something like that. But that has been my build to get that done, is to go 10 in authority, and as far as grit will take you. Now, because of the way this game has become, because of the pure damage upscaling for all the mobs in the game, grit is now going to be something that you're going to be like, grit is now something you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to take grit. Now, the way your points are set up, you stop getting points at 60. So at the very most, at the most, you'll only be able to max out 2 of these abilities. 2 of these. Because you're going to have 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Which is going to be 40, which will only allow you to then... I think you can max out 3. So you can do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So you can max out 3 of these. But you're going to more than likely have 5 in expertise just so that you can have survivalists. Just so you can have survivalists so that your thirst, hunger, and your durability of stuff won't fall too bad. So, and then of course, just so that you could have some kind of carry weight. So 5 in expertise is going to be mandatory. When it comes to your weapon damage, all right, if you're choosing to run agility, right? If you're choosing to run, like, you know, sword and shield, I mean, not sword and shield, but daggers or bows. If you're choosing to run that, I can understand why you would be like, okay, yeah, I gotta do agility, because that determines my damage with agility weapons. And it, of course, you know, helps my dodge. However, the first perk is backstab. Dealing damage, you deal with 15% increased damage when attacking from behind. You're going to more than likely never attack something from behind. You know, especially if you're solo. I can see if you've got a thrall, right? This will be good if you already have a thrall. You know, so now once you already have one, yeah, agility will be the one. And you might just want to go to, I would say, just going in 5 points to hit that 1 will be good, because like jogging, sprinting, jumping, swimming, and climbing cost less stamina and are fast. Like you're gonna only have what? Because you're gonna have to take grit all the way. You're just gonna have to, especially for the last perk. You cannot take more than 25% of your maximum health and damage in a single hit. You're going to want that. So at the end of the day, your first 20 points are going to be grit. Well, you can choose to put them anywhere else, but there's going to be 20 of those points somewhere that you're going to have to give to grit. You're just going to have to. Like, if you want to have a defense worth writing home about, you're going to have to have grit at its max. Now, that takes 20 points away, and that leaves you with another 40, right? So now you got another 40 points. If you plan on having thralls and you want your thralls to be of any use, and if you don't want them to be trash, you can go ahead and spend you can go ahead and get rid of another 20. So it's going to be 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So now you're talking 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, 25, 30, 35, 40. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, so now you're talking all grit, all authority. So now you're at 40 points in. So now you get 4 more basically perks you can pick from. You can do all 4 in one, or you can split them up between the others. But we're gonna say you only get 3 because you're gonna need to get expertise 1. So it's gonna be these 4, expertise. Now you got 3 more points that you can get. 3 more perks. You're gonna want to get vitality up to the first perk so that you can have passive health regeneration. And you're more than likely going to want to get the second one as well, because you're going to need that 50% healing from your healing effects. So now whenever you pop a potion, you heal for 50% more. You will be a fool not to take this one and this one. Right? Cool. So now we only have one perk left. We only have one 5-point segment to get a perk. So now you have to choose between agility or strength. And that is where I believe you're going to have to rely. Now, this is if you're going to go a standard, I got a thrall, but I need to be defensive standpoint. This is how you're gonna build up. If you want to go the standard, thralls helping me do things. Because again, like I said in the previous video, this game's combat system doesn't deserve the amount of attention that the developers want you to give it. You know, that's why they want to make things the way they are, so that you have to engage in combat yourself a lot more. And this game's combat doesn't deserve that kind of attention. So the idea is I'm going to make my thralls capable of doing the combat for me, but at the same time I need to make myself survive because of their decision to spike the damage of these mobs. So I have to go full grit and full authority. I normally wouldn't go past this point in grit. I normally wouldn't. I would actually only go to 10 in grit, to be quite honest. I mean to 5. But I'm having to go all the way around just to circumvent that. But I believe that my next thing is going to be, because I see just how I'm noticing that the damage I'm doing and this is where the knowledge system kind of like gets flipped. If you're trying to go axe, like war axe, like I was like a battle axe, like I was doing before, I'm level 35, right? I'm level 35. I don't get another one-handed axe ability till 40. Because this is a two-handed. This is a two-handed war axe. This is a two-handed war axe. So I only have the iron axe, and now I got maces and swords and shit like that. But I don't get another actual one-handed battle axe till 40. So what's going to happen is I have to instead, and that battle axe, the battle axe I want is 33, but I only get it till 40. So how am I going to get out of the Iron Age weapon-wise if I want to stick to axes? I can't. Not until 40. So I'm going to have to instead get the steel sword. The steel short sword also has the same damage output as the Sumerian battle axe, but I can get this at 31. So that's going to be the one change that you'll have to look at as well. You can still use a shield with it, but the reason why I want the battle axe is because of its ability to bleed, to be able to stack like a bleed. And of course I like my shield so that I can actually tank some damage. But of course the game is like, no, we don't want you to do that. So what we're gonna do instead here is we're just gonna go with the steel sword. I'm gonna get the steel short sword, and then I'll be wielding that with the shield. Now, in terms of course, the daggers are still a very viable option, simply because they can stack bleed so quickly. They can stack a high amount of bleed very, very quickly. And from what I am hearing, status effects are actually pretty strong again. So bleed and things of that nature now, I believe, are actually viable at this point. I think poison's more viable than bleed, but from what I'm hearing, bleed has gotten some love. So, like for instance, Cole, True Strike. He is mainly an agility fighter because he uses a bow and arrow. But he comes with a sword, which is a strength weapon. What I did was I took the sword out and I gave him steel daggers, which weren't on him. They were originally on this dude, who was a fighter, who originally had these daggers. But the archer, the tier 4 archer, had this sword. So I just switched it because he would do better with a strength weapon, and he'll do better with the actual agility weapon. And he does hit pretty good. I haven't taken him to anything rough yet. I'm still leveling him, as you can see. I would say once you get you tier 4, and again, you don't want to go all the way into the dregs. What I did, well, into the den. What I did was I kept going out to the opening, to the very beginning of it, and I just kept killing the one or two mobs that were there until I came across him, because I knew he spawned out there, but I wanted to make sure I killed him. I just kept killing the mobs until True Strike spawned, because the idea is I'd rather have him and then turn him into an agility fighter, because that's exactly what he is with a bow and arrow, and then I'll just boost his health, because that's what I'm doing now with using Grilled Steak. He's just gonna basically get health. His vitality growth chance is already damn near at 100. So I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna level him the first 10 levels with vitality, and then once I get through leveling him his first 10 levels with vitality, I'm gonna level his last 10 levels with grit. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because, again, I'm going full authority. So once I hit 20 in authority, I'm going to get well trained. I'm not getting this one because I don't care to have more than one follower. I'm going to get this one. Your active followers will have increased attributes. What that means is this. When I press follow on him and have him follow me, he's going to instantly get plus 20 to each of these 4 stats. So he's going to get 54 in agility, or whatever his agility is at the point in time which I get maxed out. He's going to get 20 to all of these. So I want to make sure that I get this one and this one up to a respectable level to kind of keep up with his agility, so that when I get to 20 to vitality, I'm actually getting 50 vitality. And when I'm getting 20 to grit, I'm actually getting 50 grit. You see what I mean? Instead of it being only 30 or something like that. Especially since this one has the leaf growth rate. So I might actually only do this up to about, I'd say, 10 levels. I might just do this to 5 levels. Because right now he's level 6. So I might just do this until he gets to about, well, hold on. Yeah, to about 15 here. Because that way he'll get 35. So it'll be 35 for his vitality and his health bonus. Because right now at 10, his health bonus is 784. So like if I can get that grit up, I might just do grit starting from like level I might just do grit from level 10 on up. Yeah. So I'll get this up to 10 levels. I'll do this for his first 10, then do that one for his next 10. I think this one will level up on its own, because like he's got strength, but there's no need for that. Like he's getting a small bonus for that, and he doesn't even really specialize in strength shit. And hopefully his perks that he'll get at 10, 15, and 20, hopefully his perks will further help. But again, I was able to bring back a tier 2 Tanner. I was able to knock out a tier 3 Tanner. There's need this. There's like we want to put that in there. because now that I have, open this. How you doing? Open this. All right. There we go. Give me this. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I think I got it still. Yeah. Because we need to make mask. Because now that we have to because now that we're in the, I went over here, I ran over here and I got some brimstone, brought brimstone back. But now that we've reached a point to where we can actually make use of steel, we're gonna need to go and get lots of that. So I want to make sure that we had our mask to be able to go and do that. But like, again, I wanted to create a video here kind of showing ways around it, because like I said, I don't like complaining about something and not giving out a solution of some kind. You know, if it's not advice to the devs on how to better do things from a player's perspective, then at least showing you guys ways around dealing with something as nerve-wracking as that. Of course, mileage will vary based on your own skills. Like you might need more. What in the world is all this doing in here? You might need more. Oh hell. Oh hell. Like you might need more than I do, or you might need less than I do. You might actually need less protection than I do, you know, or you might be, you know, you might not require, you know, as much, you might not require as much in terms of, you know, in terms of armor and weaponry as I do, or you might require, it'll be different for each person. But I found a method that worked when everything else I tried didn't, you know, so I wanted to kind of show that off and kind of let people see that, hey, you know, even though the structure of the semi-mid game has been kind of fucked with because of the way they did things, it's not impossible to get done. And again, like I said, just follow that upgrade pathing in terms of your attribute points. If you're going to go out for thralls, you're going to want to get as high as you can in your grit, as high as your levels will allow in grit, and as high as you can in authority. But you're going to want to prioritize grit over authority, and you're going to want to get, I would say, never engage without having a shield. So if you're going to use your club, have a club and then have your shield out, you know, and engage only once you know that you got attacks that are capable of hitting the you know, just never engage when you're questioning whether you're going to get hit or not, you know. It's a very slow process. That's another thing too, is I had to be far more patient in the combat than I really wanted to be, because again, I do not care for the game's combat necessarily. Like, the only thing I like doing is building gigantic, beautiful places with my combat mentality in mind in terms of defending. That's what I did in PvP servers for so long. I got joy out of Conan Exiles making bases that were defensible in some kind of way, whether it be turning bases into death traps themselves. One base me and Seta made, if you got into the base, you weren't able to get out. You know, we made death traps like that. Or making bases that had confusing walkways and hallways, and you know, like you know, we were into the more finer points of the game, because the combat in this game was always super janky and super simplistic. You know, but it was the jank that made the combat not fun. But the combat in this game is not fun because it's not reliable combat. You know, one moment you could be fine, the next moment a thrall could accidentally, could jank out and teleport 2 feet to the left for some reason. You know, like shit like that, I don't like. You know, as a person who plays fighting games as a main form of entertainment, I play fighting games as my main gaming genre. I'm very used to crisp mechanics when it comes to combat. And when I encounter a combat system that is very, very, very sloppily put together, it irks my last fucking nerves. And especially when the idea is combat, when combat revolves around something like thralls, especially thralls that are very important, because it's not just the knocking out of thralls for combat reasons, it's knocking out thralls to put on damn, you know what I'm saying, on a station, so that the stations run with more efficiency. Like I don't want the combat system that I have to engage with already more than I would like to. I don't want to be forced to engage any further into it unless they decide they want to engage themselves and overhaul this fighting system and make it better. If they want to spend more time on the fighting system to make it better, then yeah, I'll spend more time engaging with the fighting system myself. But until they're willing to sit down and overhaul the fighting system and actually make it a true fighting system, then until then, let me get my thralls. Let me get the thralls so that they can take care of the most painful part of this game on outside of the resource grinding. You know, let me get my thralls so they can take care of the more painful part of this game. You know, and that's dealing with the combat and the jank of it. In any case, guys, I just wanted to kind of show you what my workaround has been, and kind of let you see, like, for instance, what I'm going to be working with in the future here. I'm going to get in here and start doing some more grinding. Grinding up some more materials while he's out, knocked out. Probably a grind with him a little bit more when he gets on, probably tonight. But I've got some more. I got some more armor core coming soon. We're going to be doing some more Division 2. And then, of course, I'll also be, again, prepping some. I'm prepping like 3 of the Tekken 8 videos that I'm working on right now to kind of get ourselves ready for the new era of the channel, baby. Ready for the new era of the channel. We're getting ready. But until then, thanks, guys, for watching. Let your peoples know. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your friends. I'm Amon-Rellik the God Slayer. I'm out of here.